So today's Bible verse that I resonate with is Romans 12:10, which reads, "Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves." And I love this verse because it reminds us to be kind to one another, to respect one another, and even to go above and beyond, further than the expectation. And practice things like being selfless and then being selfish. And I think like in these days we live in such a selfish society that maybe that's the reason why there's a lot of negativity in the world. We're not very selfless. We, always think about me, what I want, and not think about the other person. One person that comes to mind is the story of Jim Carrey, because I remember reading about him where he said that, once he accumulated all of this money, he was still feeling like empty and sad inside. But it wasn't until he started to give where he felt a lot better. He wasn't as sad. You understand? So in a way, when we are selfless and think about the next person, whether it's through generosity, kindness, or respectfulness, we see that it can heal ourselves. The act of giving something, whether it's verbal, whether it's spiritual, emotional support, or something like that, or physical, can impacts our psyche in a positive way, and also is in service of God. There's so much, well, if I do this for you, what are you going to do for me? Move away from that. When I was younger, I used to is when I first experienced full-time traveling. I was a kid, right? And when I say kid, I mean like a teenager. And so, coming from a world where it's, if I do this for you, what are you going to do for me? And then when I started the whole traveling thing, I went into a world of people who, no matter the race, they said, "Hi, you are my sister, you're my brother, I want to give this to you." And the type of traveling that I did, to a lot of people, it's kind of scary because you don't know if you're going to wake up dead or alive the next day. But, the type of traveling, what you come across is what it calls traveling family. I couldn't think of the name at the time. I said street family, but it's like a mixture, okay? It's like, there's no certain name, but everybody just calls each other family at the end of the day. And so, no matter what group you're associated with, so, they could be beefing or whatever, but at the end of the day, because we're all in the same situation, we're all traveling, we're all doing this, at the end of the day, we all help each other out with no strings attached. And so living that way brought a lot of awareness and opened my mind to a new way of understanding things. And because I experienced that when I was young, that whole mindset stayed with me even when I got older, because, I didn't know how to take it at first, because I'd be like, I can't give you anything in return. I'm not about to, I don't have anything, you understand? And then people are like, no, this is for you. This is for your safety. This is for food. When I was traveling, when I was a kid, I made money 3 ways. One was selling hemp jewelry and art, like paintings. And the other way was flying a sign. So, those people who be on the corner flying a sign, like, "Hey, I need some money." That was me as a kid, okay? And then the other way was just with people, with love, you understand, I went from California to Minnesota, did not have to pay a dime. And I just also want to point out, not once did I say selling my body in any way, you understand? Because when I tell these stories to people, they automatically go there. And in fact, during those times when I was younger, I actually very heavily looked down upon those women and thought they were weak. Doing that just made no sense, especially since, it's your body, it's your sacred space. That's how I felt about my body. That's why I didn't do any of that type of stuff. And like I said, I just looked down upon those women and just, they look like a throwaway to me. Okay? Nowadays, I don't really pass that much judgment. I was so good wherever I go, as long as they were family, because especially in the West Coast, there's a lot. At that time in my life, I remember one time I was walking with somebody, and there was just this school bus or whatever, and you could tell it was a converted school bus, you understand? And so we were just walking, and there was this lady, she was like, they look like family. And she invited us in, she gave us food, she had a bed in the back, and I was able to sleep because we had been walking for I don't know how long. I was able to rest, and it was, stuff like that, you understand? The community is just so strong like that we can have that faith and trust no matter where we go. And like trust that person, where I can like sleep on the bus. You know, there's just that strong sense of community where you don't ask for anything back, like whether even if it's just help. I remember there was this lady whose vehicle, she had children and all stuff in her vehicle. They were trying to, I think, prepare her vehicle for the winter, and so a lot of people as a community helped her out. She didn't really have to do anything because the community is that strong, where we go above and beyond and help each other without question, without wanting anything in return. You know, she didn't have to, because I believe she was a single mom, and she didn't have to struggle, you understand? Because the community was there to help. And then you come back in today's world where it just seems like a hassle, where it's more like, well, what are you gonna do for me? You understand? I did all this for you, or they want to bring something up 10 years ago, that how they, so you owe them and all stuff. So it's like, you know, experiencing both worlds, I was able to see the quality of life between the two, the quality of people. Even though while traveling that way, we may not have like nice cars, houses, or even, you understand? At the same time, people were a lot happier. People were, you know, it wasn't, yeah, I may not have much, but I have family and community, you understand? And the regular everyday world that most of us are used to, you see, yes, I have much, yes, I have more than this person who is, you know, on the streets, or, you know, is traveling and all stuff, but I'm miserable. So, you know, I hope one day there's like a merging of the two, where there's a balance of, yes, I have much, yes, I have even the bare necessities, where I have a quality of life, where I am experiencing true happiness. You know, there needs to be balance. You understand? You can have this, but also remember and be mindful and aware that you can also live this way. You know, give. Not, it doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be money. It could just be through kindness, through words, respect, through action. You know, if you want to give somebody something, whether it's time, money, gifts, emotional support, you understand? Give it to them without expecting something in return, you understand? So that's why I say there's that balance to create a wholesome and truly happy life. I use this verse in a way to pause and reflect, and to understand if what I am if I'm responding in a way that is selfish or selfless. And that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank y'all for watching, and I hope y'all have a good one.